Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to represent the B'nai B'rith World Center as a co-sponsor of the symposium on the present and future of Christians in the Middle East. Now, I assume that most of you in the audience are familiar with B'nai B'rith International as one of the largest and oldest Jewish organizations in the world, established in 1843 and active in Israel since 1888, in pre-state of Israel, obviously. So you may be asking, why are we co-sponsoring a symposium on Christians in the Middle East? Well, besides being a Jewish organization concerned with security and the resilience of the State of Israel, B'nai B'rith is also a human rights organization concerned with the conditions faced by people all over the world, including the plight of Christian minorities in Arab countries. This issue, tragically in our view, is not covered in the Western press in any consistent and deliberate way, nor dealt with by Western governments, leaving millions of Copts, Assyrians, Greek Orthodox, and other Christian minorities to face discrimination, forced conversions, abductions, rape, murder, and dispossession, and other gross human rights violations in silence. But it also prevents the general public from utilizing this reality to give context to the charges, mostly misplaced, of human rights violations by the State of Israel. The B'nai B'rith World Center and the Ecumenical Fraternity in Israel earlier today completed a 4-day consultation with 20 mainline Protestant pastors, activists, and intellectuals to discuss these churches' increasing criticism of Israel, culminating in a letter signed by 15 church leaders accusing Israel of war crimes and calling on the U.S. Congress to cut military aid to Israel. At this consultation, we had a session on the condition of Christians in the Middle East, and we wanted the public to hear from the very knowledgeable and excellent speakers who are here with us on this panel. What I'd like to do now is to invite Reverend Dr. Petra Held, the director of the Ecumenical Fraternity in Israel, to make some opening remarks, followed by our panel. B'vakasha.